Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to your reading for the week of June 23rd. This week you have this masculine energy card and this Roadrunner card. It says trust and knowledge on it. So I feel that it could be time for Virgo to take like their creative ideas, anything that you're trying to create, and to put it into practice. It's like whenever I have a reading and we have like a masculine energy card or a feminine energy card, to me it kind of says like you need to balance out the other side, right? And but the weird thing is is that I feel like you have been in that like feminine energy for long enough in some ways. And again, you're gonna have to be honest with yourself because you're all different. And so maybe some of you have been too much in the masculine, and maybe you need more creativity, right? Maybe you need to practice more creativity or practice like nurturing your ideas and bringing them to life and all that other stuff. But just intuitively, I actually feel the reading is saying like it's time for action. It's time for kind of like the masculine energy to come out, and it's time for you to use your masculine energy to make things happen. And I do feel that you are making things happen here, Virgo. I mean, we have the Eight of Wands and the Ace of Swords, which are very good. They both kind of represent charging forward. We even have the Knight of Swords, which is like charging forward. So a lot of like progress. In your current general energies, you have the Nine of Cups, the Five of Swords, and the Fool. The Nine of Cups, of course, is wish fulfillment or some sort of fulfillment coming in for you. The Nine of Cups, we go down to the Nine of Cups, to the Ten of Swords, to the Ace of Swords. This would represent needing to believe that something is possible. The Nine of Cups is like having a wish or having a dream, but going to a card like the Ten of Swords is thinking that it's not going to be possible for you to get it. But then you have the Ace of Swords, which is like you can if you want it, whatever it is that you're wishing for. So I feel that mindset is going to be very important. It's very weird because a lot of people this week have already had a lot of stuff about like really needing to be very protective of the mindset, of our, what our mind is telling us and, all this other stuff. So, that's basically what I would be doing with the Nine of Cups is making sure that you're staying positive and being in the energy of what you want. You have the Five of Swords. One thing I will say, Virgo, is that, one thing that I do think is true is that we can have whatever we want, but pretty much everyone, all of us, we are probably not going to get what we want in the way that we think. But this could be a good thing. It's like, I think we are literally in a time where, what people need to realize is that we're in a time where it's like, yeah, maybe you're not going to get your wish how you think you're going to get it. It's going to come to you differently. But the beautiful thing about that is, it could come to you more easily. It's like maybe you're thinking like, oh, I have to work 900 hours a week to be successful. But maybe the universe is like, no, I don't want you to work 900 hours a week. I want you to work 9 hours a week, And so I think that we have to be open to things being easier. It's kind of a weird time. I would describe, and I've kind of been moving in this direction just mentally, like in my own thoughts, that we're kind of like in this weird paradox time where it's like, it's like on one hand, it's like things are hard. On the other hand, everything from the universe is saying like, no, things do not have to be hard, which is a conflict, right? But the thing is that I feel that the universe is trying to get people to realize that it's like we are the ones that can make things easy. It's like it kind of makes sense because part of me feels that Neptune in Pisces is meant to like empower a generation. Neptune is kind of generational. It affects 14 years of life. Neptune is in a sign for 14 years. So just like Pluto, which spends about 19 years in, for the most part, like 20 years per sign, right? But it spends like 30 years in Taurus, for example. Pluto has a highly elliptical orbit, so that's why it's in Taurus, for example, for 30 years instead of 19. But what I would say is that Neptune is also like generational. I think that, it's like the Neptune in Pisces energy that we had was meant to teach us that whatever we believe to be true is true. So if you believe that things can be easy and you allow them to be easy, they will be easy. You have the Fool. The Fool is about taking a risk or taking a leap of faith. The Five of Swords is also my card of taking some sort of risk or taking a leap of faith in a direction. So I do think it would be an amazing time for you to take, like if you're thinking about starting something new, I don't even think it has to be new. Again, with this masculine energy card here, Virgo, I think that this could be something that you have kind of been gestating, like a mother. It's like been a baby inside of you for a long time. And I feel like the Fool could say it's like time to pop that baby out. It's time to birth that baby. Let's see. With the Nine of Cups, you have the Moon, which you have twice in the reading. You start basically and end with it. Now, the Moon is coming up in the good stuff over here, which is great. The Moon in the good stuff can represent kind of like leaving behind a period of a lack of clarity where you can't see things clearly and getting into a period of time where you can see things clearly. So it's basically clarity. The Moon, to me, also definitely says you absolutely have a dream. The Moon is kind of like a challenging card, but I also feel personally that the Moon is a good card. The Moon is part of the Fool's journey. You have the Fool here. He is dreaming of something that he wants to bring down to earth. The Moon says, sure, go for it. But you have to see something through to the end. The trick with the Moon is we can't stop. If we say we're going to do something, we have to do it. And that's kind of the energy I get for you. Again, fits in very well with the astrology because, Saturn and Neptune are both in Aries right now. And, Aries energy is, the trick with Aries energy is to see things through to the end. With the Five of Swords, you have the Eight of Swords. I would just open up to all the different ways of doing things. I've literally been saying this for years, but it's like, the example I used to give is like everybody thinks like, in medicine, it's like some people believe only in doctors. Some people only believe in homeopathic medicine, right? But I believe in the future that we will be mixing all these things together. It won't be like one or the other, right? And so the Eight of Swords is saying, and I'm not saying that's exactly what's going to happen. I'm just saying like for pretty much everything that we do in life, we will probably all be more opening up to multiple kind of ways of doing things. And that's what the Eight of Swords wants you to do. It's a card that wants you to realize that there's more than one way to do whatever you're trying to do in life. And all you have to do is open up and, kind of explore those other ways of doing things and you will figure it out. With the Fool card, you have the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles can be like a big opportunity that has a lot of potential that's coming in for you. So I do think that there could be like a big opportunity coming in for you with the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is just like an opportunity that has potential, which basically means nothing. Potential means nothing. Potential means what we put into something is what we're going to get out of it. So, again, if you're starting something new with that Fool, or if you're thinking about like investing your time, effort, energy into something new with that Fool, I definitely would get started. And I think that the more, the Ace of Pentacles requires nurturing energy as well. So the more you nurture the Ace of Pentacles, the better. And, again, if you're starting anything new, I would nurture it into existence. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have a time for healing card. You also have this card. It says a personal issue reaches resolution. It's an amazing time for healing. Again, part of me thinks that because we still have Chiron in Aries and now Saturn is getting into Aries, Saturn will retrograde back into Pisces, but, and officially next year, it will move back into Aries in February. And same thing with Neptune. Neptune is going to retrograde out, but on January 26th, Neptune will enter back into Aries next year. And but part of me feels like Chiron and Aries, number one, is a pain in the ass, on a personal level for everyone. Now that Saturn's there, I think on a healing level, because Chiron is a wounded healer, it's like Saturn is going to be pointing places in our life where we haven't been responsible, like with our own health or things that could lead to healing. But I also feel it's making us all more responsible for our healing. So a lot of us could just be healing. And, that's probably what you're doing here. You have the Knight of Swords, the Ten of Swords, and the Page of Cups. Again, I kind of feel like some of you, if you dealt with a person like that created some sort of personal issue in your life, like a person who jumped to conclusions or a person who, kind of rushed something in your life, some of you could be getting like an apology. This is kind of like a little bit of a side message that I'm getting from the reading. You have the Ace of Swords as well coming up, which can also be an apology. So again, if you've dealt with a person who caused some issues or challenges or problems in your life, I feel that a lot of you could be kind of like clearing that up, especially, if this was something where people jump to conclusions about you, if someone caused a problem at work or in business or something, definitely popping into my head. On top of that, I do feel pretty good about the Knight of Swords in your reading. Normally, I'm not the biggest fan of the Knight of Swords because, again, he can represent jumping to to conclusions, and he can represent being too hasty, trying to rush, trying to make something happen too quickly. But I feel pretty good about him in your reading because you have the Eight of Wands, you have the Ace of Swords. These are all cards of charging forward towards success, or, creating success more quickly in your life. And I do feel you are doing that, Virgo. You have the Ten of Swords. I do feel like you're finally closing something out that has been hurting you for a long time. Again, I don't know why Chiron and Aries is popping into my head for you, but it is. So if you're healing anything, that Chiron and Aries energy is really popping into my head for you, Virgo. And so you might want to look at your chart and see where Chiron is for you right now. I'm not talking about when you were born. I'm talking about you should look at your chart and see what house Aries is for you. It's going to be different for all of you because you're all born at different times. But what I would say is, wherever that is falling for you, Virgo, I would pay attention to that area of your life, and see what needs to be healed or corrected or whatever. Because again, there's something about that popping into my head intuitively. But I also feel this could be something where you close out a cycle once and for all. Or you close out a trauma once and for all. I think we all carry pain and issues in our body based off of things that we went through. And it's popping into my head that this time right now, June, right now is the time for you to close something out, and I would. You have the Page of Cups. Page of Cups can represent a new love offer coming in for you. So if you are hoping for a love offer, by the way, there definitely could be a new love offer coming in for you with the Page of Cups. You go up to the Lovers as well. This could absolutely be another earth sign. You always get earth with me as far as love is concerned, and also fire. We don't have fire in this reading. I'm just saying in some of your past readings, earth and fire really stand out to me. And you have the King of Pentacles, which would be Taurus, but again, general reading, could be any sign. Literally could be any sign coming in for you, but if you want love, definitely an opportunity for love. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is about following your heart. And so with the Queen of Cups, we have to listen to what our heart is telling us to do, and we have to move in that direction. So I feel that, really that it's time for you to listen to your heart. And I also feel with the Knight of Swords that this is saying the more you listen to your heart, the faster things are going to progress for you. And so, that's what I would be doing with this card. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Queen of Pentacles. There you go. So we have the Queen and King of Pentacles here. These two are definitely divine counterparts. So if you're looking for love, this definitely could be a very solid connection. The Ten of Swords could say that you're finally closing out a cycle or healing something, which is allowing a person into your life. That's kind of the feeling I get here. The other thing about these two cards is they are both very good for money, and especially with that Ace of Pentacles. Now, the Ten of Swords, I think this is true, definitely true for you. You and Pisces, again, just based off of your astrology and Pisces astrology, especially having the North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo, it is destiny time for you and Pisces, basically. So, it just wouldn't surprise me if some of you are like, oh my God, I know what I need to do with my life now. And it wouldn't surprise me if over the next year and a half or so, you just completely changed direction and decided to move to Fiji and open a cupcake factory or something like that. I don't know. Probably something very random, but also probably something that will bring in wealth and make you very successful. So I would go for it. With the Page of Cups, you have the Hangman. Yeah, everybody's been getting the Hangman lately, and I think that it's an amazing time to gain a new perspective, to look at all perspectives. I kind of said this on the Eight of Swords, that we need to look at all the ways of doing things and mix things together. We also need to test things out for ourselves, meaning that, it's if we're trying to improve something in our life, we should learn all the ways of improving whatever that thing is, and we should try them all out and see what works. And so don't be afraid of looking at other perspectives. This could also be a Pisces coming in. I mean, you have the moon twice, and you also have the Hangman. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Regeneration card and this New Life card. Yes, Regeneration is also healing. So a lot of you definitely seem to me like you are going through some sort of healing or regeneration. The New Life card definitely says that there could be something new coming in for you at this time. It's one of my favorite cards in this deck. That lady is being lifted up on this pedestal and she is glowing. So there could be a lot of attention, or there could be a lot of you kind of standing out going on here. Definitely could be working on something new in your life as well. You have the King of Pentacles, the Lovers, and the Ace of Swords. Again, King of Pentacles can be very good for love because it can be a person who really wants something long term. A person who really wants to put the work in, a person who really wants to make things happen, a person that really wants to, build wealth together and, build something forever. So definitely could be a good connection. I do feel really good about money in this reading for you for some reason. It's like you don't have any super amazing money cards here. I mean, you don't have anything really bad either, but for some reason I feel very good about this. It's like whatever you're working on, especially if you've been creative, like we said, with that masculine energy card, it's like I think you've been creative enough in your head. It's like you've come up with ideas. Maybe you've come up with a different vision for yourself, and it's like now I think that masculine energy card is saying now it's go time. It's time to get started on these ideas, and if you do, you will be happy that you did. You have the Lovers. Definitely could be love coming in for those of you that want it. So if you're looking for love, definitely could be a love connection with the Lovers. The Lovers can also represent a choice. So the Lovers, we can have a choice in life. And usually picking the new path or picking the new choice is what we have to do with the Lovers. So I think it would be a great time for you to pick the new path or move in the new direction with the Lovers. But I do feel like this could be love. So if you are looking for love, I feel that a lot of you could be attracting a very significant connection, especially with that King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. I kind of feel like this is something that will have phases, but good phases, not bad. It's like maybe it starts a little slow and then it starts to move faster over time. But I think this is going to be very good if you want love. You have the Ace of Swords. Definitely could be a victory coming in for you. The Aces can represent new beginnings, and we see a lot of new stuff going on here. 2 Aces, Hangman, Lovers even can be picking a new option. 2 of Pentacles can be picking a new path. So the Ace of Swords can be a victory or a success, and also the sword is above these mountains. So the Ace of Swords can represent overcoming obstacles. But the thing is here, Virgo, is that I think you need to pick something new that will help you overcome obstacles. I also think you need to make something easier. I was joking earlier when I said that you're working 900 hours a week. Obviously, there aren't 900 hours in a week, but it's kind of popping into my head. I wish I had a good way of saying what I want to say, but it's I have talked to people in the past where it's they say that they want their life to be easier, and they say that they want to make money more easily, for example, right? But they still work too hard, right? And it's those two things can't be true at the same time. And I will always say that to those people. I will say these two things cannot be true at once, because you can't say that money comes to you easily, but also say that you have to work hard. But then they always say to me, those people, they'll always be like, yeah, but I have to work hard right now because I have to do this to keep up, to make the money, and and they get ahead of themselves. And I'm like, no. If you are saying money comes to you easily, then you need to do things easily, and you cannot work hard, right? And there's something about that popping into my head with this card where it's saying two things cannot be true at once, and you need to focus on the reality that you want. You cannot make this up. With the King of Pentacles, you have the feminine energy card, the Empress. Exactly what we were talking about, she's very good for feminine energy, very good for using your creative side, very good for creating abundance, very good for creation in general. So it's I think you have this energy down. And again, take it how it resonates. I mean, for some of you, maybe you are more in the masculine space, and maybe you need to enter in to the creative space, the feminine space. But I don't know. I feel pretty good about that. With the Lovers, you have the 3 of Cups. Yeah, if you are attracting love, I definitely feel this will be a very loving connection. I think this will be a celebration for you as well, Virgo. I think you will be very happy. I think you will be celebrating this and all that other good stuff. So looks pretty good to me. With the Ace of Swords, you have the 6 of Pentacles. So the 6 of Pentacles can represent equal give and take, of course. It can represent planting seeds as well. It can represent, who and what you give to. With the 6 of Pentacles, we need to make sure that we're giving to the right thing. It's funny that I said that about that Ace of Swords, right? It's he's giving to this person, not this one. It's maybe you need to give to easy work, not hard work, right? And, you need to choose what energy you feed, and that's going to be very important. Next, in the good stuff, you have this dependent card. It says, you can't fully come into your power if you rely on others for financial support. You have this denial card. It says, are you refusing to face the reality about some aspect of your financial life? I would say no, because this is coming up in the good stuff, like I said. So I think a lot of you are focused in the right direction. I think a lot of you are doing the right things that you need to be doing and focusing on what you need to be focusing on at this time. You have the Two of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands, and the Moon. The Two of Pentacles is juggling, spinning plates, doing too much usually. It's about being too busy. Two of Pentacles, I always say the solution is work hard, play hard. So we have to play hard if we're working hard. We have to work hard if we're playing hard. But it's coming up in the good stuff. So I kind of feel you are balancing your energies, Virgo, in a good way, which is good, of course. I do feel that some of you, it's like I think things are going to be very busy. I'm pretty sure I said this to you, that between like now and September, things are going to be busy for you just in general. So I don't know. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, right? You have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is quick success or a quick conclusion. So a lot of you, things could be moving very quickly for you at this time, like we already said. Again, the Eight of Wands, the direction is critically important with the Eight of Wands. We cannot pull in two directions with the Eight of Wands. Well, we can, but we just won't get anywhere. So all those wands are pointing in one direction towards one thing. And that is going to be very important for you, Virgo, that you stay focused in one direction on what you want. The other thing is, Eight of Wands is my card of creating a slip and slide in life. I always say with Eight of Wands, if we get this card, that we should be looking at the things we're doing. We should be looking at the friction, right? The things that slow us down. And we should be saying to ourselves, can I remove this completely from my life? Can I make it smoother? Can I make it better? Or can I improve it in some way? And if you do that with all the friction points in your life, things will start slipping in the right direction. You will be charging down the slip and slide, right? So that's what I would do there. Also, by the way, this could be communication coming in love if you are looking for love. You have this Moon card. The Moon can definitely represent fears, fantasies, illusions. But again, in the good stuff, the Moon can say that great clarity is coming in for you. I always just look at it as a card of clarity in the good stuff. So I think a lot of you could be gaining clarity here. With the Two of Pentacles, you have the King of Wands. King of Wands is a card of being bold, being assertive, being confident. So I think it would be an amazing time for you to focus on your own confidence and to be more confident at this time with the King of Wands. I also think that, being more bold, assertive, and all those other things would be a good idea. I said fire. I literally said that you always get earth and fire with me. So there you go. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, it's an amazing time to show off. I think everyone should be showing off at this time, especially with Pluto and Aquarius. He is showing off the quality work, the good job that he has done. So if you are working on anything, I think it would be an amazing time to show your work or to show people what you're made of, all that stuff. With the Moon, you have the Lovers. Definitely could be a very solid love connection coming in for those of you that want it. So if you are hoping for love, then, obviously there could be a very strong love connection. With the Moon, this could also say that you are now clear on what type of connection, the type of connection that you want is what I'm trying to say. You have this Skull card. It says hidden secrets can harm you. I would be careful of secretive people, especially right now. I would if people are being secretive or whatever, I would just be careful of that. You have the Scissors card. It says disappointment in some affair. Again, just because things are not working how you want them to does not mean they're not working. 8 of Swords, 5 of Swords, 10 of Swords. That was literally what that was saying to me. I'm wondering if you're making something harder than it needs to be, and the universe is just no, it's not going to work this way because you're making it hard. It's you need to make something easy. And, that's what I would do. You have this Whale. It says great worry over nothing. Yes, I think people need to chill out right now. There's too much worry, too much fear, too much all that stuff. So I think that anything you do, meditation, going for walks, tapping, I love tapping, whatever, do something, right? I think that would help. You have this Egg card. It says success assured with good plans and hard work. Yes, there definitely could be some more success and happiness and joy coming in for you at this time with that card. You have the staff card. It says you will be taken care of in difficult times. There's nothing to worry about. Everybody gets these cards like this that say you will be taken care of. So really, I think there is a lot of worry and fear going on, of course, for obvious reasons in the world. But I think we all need to probably take a chill pill and kind of bring the opposite energy in. And I think we need to bring more good energy down to earth because there isn't enough. So, freaking out about things is not a good way to do that. But being calm and focusing on the good stuff is a great way to do it. And that's what I would do. This looks really good, Virgo. I like it for some reason. So there you go. Thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.